Alright lads, Canelo Alvarez, now officially a 4 Division World Champion, beats Callum Smith, 12 round UD, scorecards 170 and 111 twice and 190 and 109. This was a beating. That's not beating around the bush, this was a beating what I saw in the ring. Right, now I watched this back the morning after, okay? It was the kind of fight I expected, I have to say. I mean, Callum Smith, the flaws that are there with Callum Smith, I want to say flaws. I wouldn't, are they flaws? But they're things that play into Canelo's strengths. Alright, and there was also things in here tonight that I seen that made me have reservations for Callum Smith if he moves up to 175 pounds, which I expect him to do next. Now, what Canelo done well was obviously his head movement. He was very physical. Someone asked me in a live stream on Wednesday or Thursday, that in my opinion, would Canelo be physical enough to be able to handle Callum Smith? As in, would he be able to, match blow with Callum Smith in terms of physical strength? And I said, I suspect he probably could, but I thought Callum Smith would be the physically stronger of the two in there. I was wrong, he wasn't. He was actually getting bullied in there by Canelo. Canelo, the guy who turned pro at 147 pounds, is in there, one of the biggest super middleweights in the world today, and he was, from what I saw, the physically stronger. And that's a worry for Callum Smith if he moves up to 175 pounds, because if someone like Canelo, now he apparently could be weight drained, I'm sure that plays a large part, as maybe at 175 pounds he will have a bit more strength. But if someone, it's not the first time we've seen that. We've seen Ryder, a middleweight, be able to push Callum Smith back in, up again the ropes. So Smith's physical strength is questionable there. So moving forward, that could be an issue. In terms of everything else, I mean, Callum Smith is slow, right? He is slow as molasses when it comes to world level fighters. His speed isn't terrible, but his foot speed, his movement, it's just not, at this level, fighting someone like Canelo, it's just not there, The 10th round was a round where really Canelo really put it, the last 3 rounds Canelo did, but the last round technically Canelo did kind of resort to throwing single shots, and by the end of it Smith was holding on, and yeah, I think Canelo really did kind of just say, right, we're going the distance now. Because Eddie Reynoso during the rounds was constantly saying to Canelo, because Canelo was really bashing, he was really bashing Smith up in there, and Smith showed a very good chin, tremendous chin, because he took plenty of right hands from Canelo. He landed a couple of uppercuts there. I remember the 11th round, he landed a decent little uppercut in there on Canelo that just got through the guard. But his moments of success were few and far between in this fight. Canelo was just showing everyone his skill. And Canelo's been out of the ring for well over a year now. November 2nd, I think, last year was when he fought Kovalev. Although saying that, Smith's been out of the ring for a year as well. But Canelo looked sharp. He looked razor sharp. His movement was on point. Callum Smith was getting, as I said, pushed up against the ropes. The combination punches were wicked. I mean, variety of the head and body. Smith was just standing there. His nose got bashed up a bit towards the end of the fight. It was just a clinical performance from Canelo Alvarez. And I was listening to the DAZN commentator, and he was calling Canelo Alvarez, even after the fight, a 3-weight world champion, because in his opinion, you can't be a world champion until you beat the guy, which I don't understand how you could work that out, because as far as I'm concerned, Canelo Alvarez he was a 3-weight world champion, because I don't count the regular, but he is now. He's a 4-weight world champion now. So logic from one of the DAZN commentators: you can't call yourself a world champion even though you have the title until you beat this guy. I mean, yeah, brilliant, well done, clap. In terms of everything else, yeah, Canelo done everything he needed to do, bar stop Callum Smith. There's moments in there where I was seeing them body shots go in, and I was waiting for Smith to go down, because I was thinking they look sore. They look hurtful. They're landed with accuracy. And I did say in my prediction video that Smith, his defense on body shots is not amazing. He doesn't really get the shoulders down. He doesn't really move by the waist. And when he's up against the ropes, he's more worried about what's coming to the head. He is there to be hit to the body. But he was obviously in tremendous shape, Callum Smith, because he was able to take those body shots, able to take them head shots. I don't want to say no problem. I'm sure he'll have a headache now in the next day or two after this fight. But in terms of everything, he was able to go the distance. I didn't think he would. I know a lot of other people didn't think he would. A lot of other people thought he'd get stopped, but he didn't. Canelo Alvarez, big puncher. Some people have said, is his power overrated? I don't necessarily think his power is overrated. He seems to be hitting plenty hard at 168 pounds. I'm sure Callum Smith will testify to that. I think that Callum Smith is just extremely tough, extremely durable. A few people over the years have said that they reckon Callum Smith is a good chin. Based upon, I don't know, but they said, seeing him in sparring, this, that and the other. George Groves, although he was heavily injured, wasn't able to put a dent in Callum Smith. George Groves can definitely punch no one's question in that. So Smith, he definitely, although he lost, and he lost convincingly, in my opinion, he didn't make a show of himself. That's the best way to describe it. He came, he fought like a warrior, he did what he needed to do in there, he tried his best. Canelo Alvarez is just a different beast. I mean, the fact that this guy is 30 years old, he's had 57 pro fights. I know a lot of them early on in his career were very low level, and they were recycling opponents like Miguel Vasquez a lot. But for Alvarez at 30 now, the improvements he's made, even when we look at the Amir Khan fight, you kind of see the slow-footedness. His feet still aren't the quickest, but you see not the greatest head movement. At pressuring fighters, he really wasn't amazing. He's alright, but he wasn't amazing. But now, he just a different beast. A different beast. We've heard Errol Spence in the past and his team say they'd be up for fighting Canelo Alvarez at 160. I don't know if we'll ever see Canelo at 160 again, but if Team Spence are serious, oh boy, that might not end well. that really might not end well for Team Spence. And I like Errol Spence, but that might not end well. In terms of Canelo, Billy Joe or Triple G. Billy Joe or Triple G seems logical next step. I watched Triple G's fight on Friday. He looked good. Opponent was very limited. The opponent wasn't a world level opponent. So in terms of gauging how far Triple G has deteriorated, I mean, you can't really gauge it with that. With an opponent like that, it's very hard to gauge where he is because the opponent wasn't the greatest. Against Canelo, we'll say they fight. Well, actually, no. Doesn't Canelo have to fight Yildirim next? Because I think the WBC now, maybe they'll turn the other cheek, but because obviously Alvarez picked the WBC title, doesn't that mean now that he has to fight Yildirim by March? Now, if Alvarez does have to fight Yildirim, yeah, he went 12 rounds, but he didn't take a great deal of punishment in this fight. He should be ready to go come what March and to be honest with you, he should get rid of Yildirim in a couple of rounds. That's a knockover job with the greatest of respect. And then we'll see, maybe May, depending on what the situation is with fans. Maybe May or maybe in the summer, we'll see Billy Joe versus Canelo, or we'll see Triple G versus Canelo. Out of the two, I'd want to see Billy Joe because I've seen Triple G versus Canelo twice now. I think I know the outcome. Billy Joe, stylistically, if he's in properly good shape, be interesting. Be very interesting. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of Canelo. Probably going to do a stream this evening, and we'll have a chat about it. We'll have a 2 cents on it. We'll have a nosy on about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hope you all enjoyed it. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. I'll talk to you later, lads. Peace.